Hi. Listen, you ruined my hi.
I was just giving you a warning. I'm gonna yawn any second,
Well, it's not like you worked all night or anything.
or all week for that matter.
Is it coming? Is it coming? Look at the light. Remember?
Yeah. I was like, that's
Although you had to burp.
yeah. Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah,
It was like stuck.
I hate that. There you go.
Sorry, guys.
This is what being up for like 14 plus hours will do to you.
Sometimes. All right. Go ahead and start us off, as always.
As always.
Welcome back, everybody.
Of course, it's Saturday, May, whatever. It's cloudy as fuck.
I like it outside.
Did you hear those storms last night?
No, I slept right through it. And my window was open. This window right here, and my bed is right there.
I was laying in bed watching The Sopranos, and I got my mom and my brother coming in my door like, there's a tornado warning. We have to get in the basement. I'm like, there's nothing happening outside. It's not even raining.
Have you been outside today? Have you driven around?
No?
There's so much debris and like branches everywhere. And the power was out near the hospital where I work at.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, wasn't that bad around here.
Apparently.
A flower pot blew over. That's about it.
Oh, not the flower pot.
We will rebuild.
See, I was having trouble falling asleep, and then I started hearing the thunder, and I started to doze off. And by the time that it started like pouring rain, I was like,
Because it's soothing, right?
totally zonked. Yeah.
Zonked. Listen to you. All right. Well, before we get into our lovely films that we watched, follow us on our social platforms, Facebook and Instagram at WAM617. And we have our awesome website, wickedawkward.com, where we have our episode recaps, info about us, and how to contact us. And you can always listen to us at wham.buzzsprout.com or on any podcast app you got.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what are we talking about?
Very quickly before we
Well, yes.
then.
Yes.
What science fiction alien do you think is the most attractive and why? And it doesn't have to be attractive. It could just be, cool or whatever. I kind of have two answers.
I was just going to say the first one that popped into my head was Predator.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Because if you've ever seen Alien versus Predator and that chick like becomes friends with him, I'm like, I want that. I want to kick ass with a predator.
I'd love him as a bestie.
See?
We fight together, bruh.
Yeah, exactly. We can hunt skulls together. Like
I'd totally be into that. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The second one.
He would show off his like skull collection to me and I wouldn't be phased.
You're like, oh wow, that's pretty cool.
But brand me so that we can be besties with everybody else.
I want it known.
Yeah. Well, best friends get tattoos together. Come on.
You know what? That's a very good point right there. That's an amazing point. My phone's not going to stop doing this because my kids are fucking around with my Apple TV.
Ooh.
So do you have another one?
It's hard to think about attractive aliens.
True.
Like, do you have any? What's your answer?
See, mine's not really an alien. It's more of a creature. It's Abe from Hellboy.
Oh!
I love him.
I didn't even think of like creature. I was thinking actual alien.
I know, but it's like I don't know any aliens. E.T. is kind of like played out.
I hate that bitch.
There was this one TV show that I watched. It was like a season long, and the aliens looked like us, but they were born naturally with all these tattoos, and they had like 2 sets of lungs and 3 hearts and type shit, but they looked human.
Don't remember that.
No, it was very brief. It was like on the CW.
Makes sense why it didn't last.
Literally, it was like 1 season.
So then who's your bestie besides Abe? Just Abe?
No, I think Abe.
Because, I love it. He's got those little cats around with him, and he's just such a softie.
He's like, I feel like he's a Pisces like myself.
Oh my God.
A water sign. He's he's very he's brave and he's very articulate and smart, genius. He's also kind of funny in the smart way. And I don't know. I just like him. He's very soothing to me.
Yeah, he seems a good companion. But the question is, Ron Perlman Abe or David Harbour Abe?
No, no, no. Ron Perlman, Abe. Yeah.
Always. Always Ron Perlman.
Technically, Superman is an alien. You're not even at my house.
I know.
What just happened?
It's because you're on screen. And I'm just like, you know what? I haven't sneezed in a while. Let me just. I don't have COVID, I swear.
That's not a sign of COVID, trust me.
I know.
So can we just get out of the way real quick how Asking Alexandria's album is finally available, the full album. I've listened to it all night. Oh, that's how I am.
Orgasm.
Satisfied.
I don't even like. I just found out from you just now that it came out fully.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where have I been?
They only had like, I think it was like 4 or 5 songs that they had released.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it was released. And I feel like the very first few songs that were released were so good that I was like, oh God, the rest of this album's gonna suck. And then I was like, whoa, why is this so good?
I love when that happens because you always think the worst and then
they definitely did not release their best ones.
See? I know what I'm doing today. Compared to their previous one, yeah, because their previous one was like fire.
Dope as, yeah, this is like, the only way that I can describe it is if it's like just another version of the album, of that same album that is just as good.
Okay.
I can't, the sound is still there. Danny's singing a little bit more.
Ooh.
But it is still so fucking kick-ass.
I love that.
I did not skip a single song.
I'm thinking of I Prevail's Trauma. I'm like, how are they ever going to up that?
Oh God, I don't know, but I'm terrified. And that's what I was worried about with Asking's last album, their self-titled album. It's just like, dude, this was so good. How is this going to get any better? And they somehow managed to make it just as, it's like parallel to each other. Like one's not better than the other. I don't know how to describe it.
I'm so excited.
Oh God, it's so good.
I cannot wait to listen. Oh,
it's so good.
And it's like 15 songs, so it's not short.
No, it's actually, how long is it? Wow. It's 52 minutes.
Oh yeah.
52 minutes. And they've got 3 videos out. Anti-Socialist is definitely the theme song to our lives. I'm reading the lyrics and I'm just like, oh my God, I think I say every single one of these lines at least twice a day. Stay away from me. Leave me alone. Get the fuck away from me.
Yep.
Oh. Sleeping pills just to avoid the world.
Oh, stop.
Ow.
You okay?
No. You want something? Oh, that hurt.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, well, listen to Asking's new album, which is called
House on Fire, isn't it?
In the House on Fire?
Like a House on Fire.
Like a House on Fire.
Yes.
Which I want to know the story behind that.
I'm sure that if we Googled it, we would find it. Oh, fuck.
Before we get into our movies, there was something I wanted to share that I found recently.
Yeah.
Which I was reading a New York Times newsletter, and it was just a link in there. That's how I found it. Apparently, Mr. Josh Gad, aka Olaf from Frozen, is doing a new YouTube series. Well, I don't know if it's new, but I just found it. So he's doing a YouTube series while we're all stuck inside called Reunited Apart with Josh Gad. And basically, he's just reuniting old casts.
Oh, look at that. Back to the Future, Goonies.
Yes. Back to the Future and the Goonies are the only 2 I watched. but it's like the nostalgia is huge. And
Yeah.
sometimes with these Zoom interviews, I feel like they're very awkward, but this is so not awkward. It's very well done. And
Really?
he kind of jokes with them purposefully before they get into the actual like interviews.
Just to break the ice and stuff like that?
Right, like with Back to the Future, Christopher Lloyd came on first and he's like, "Hey Josh, like I love that we can talk and I hope it's not about Back to the Future." And then Josh, but you could tell it was scripted, but
Right, right.
it was Josh is us basically. He's just like a big fanboy and reuniting these old casts, and I think it's
That is
pretty sweet.
so comforting to know that.
And even better is that he like connects a fundraiser to each video.
Oh,
So yeah, if you want to donate money to, I don't know if it's the same for each one or if it's different.
yeah.
I'm just like he's so wholesome. I mean, come on.
That's so exciting. So I actually found a podcast. I know that I talked about The Last Kingdom a few episodes ago,
Yeah.
how great their show was. And you know how I was talking about that little group of guys that like hang around with Uhtred? So three of
Yes.
those guys, including the guy that plays Uhtred, which is Alexander Draymond, I think is his name, have
Mhm.
a podcast, and they talk
What?
about like, yes, they talk about like behind the scenes stuff, and
Oh,
they're only like, oh shit, sorry. Um,
God, she's being terrible over
I'm
there.
trying to see how many episodes. They're only 3 episodes in. So it's not, I don't think it's something that they're like keeping up with, but it's definitely nice to see that. And I know that Stephen Amell, he was publishing his Zoom meetings on Facebook, on his Facebook, and now he has a podcast based off of those Zoom meetings.
What's the name of the Last Kingdom podcast?
It's The Last Kingdom.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, it's the official Last Kingdom podcast. As for Stevens, let's see if I can find it real quick. I'm sorry, I wasn't anticipating talking about this. It's only because
Oh,
you
that
talked about, Josh.
yeah, because
I'm so sorry. Like, why the fuck
it's
is it?
okay. Gosh darn. No, because Josh Gad's just cool, and we're all about damn podcasts, obviously.
All
So,
right. Oh,
um,
this episode is with Colton Haynes.
mm,
How'd You Do It is what his podcast is called. And you can find it on podcasting platforms, but he uploads the episodes to his Facebook page. So they're all there.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love behind the scenes shit like that. That's why back in the day I would always love listening to commentary on like TV
Yeah.
shows because you get it right from the actors' mouths, and they just share their stupid experiences. So I love it.
I heard like part of the first episode, and I think it was a soundbite, and they were just laughing. They're like, "Oh, do you remember that day? And then this happened, and that happened, and it turned into this." And it's like, it's you're literally just talking amongst friends about your day at work.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It like brings everybody down. I also love how much recognition and how much growth podcasts are having during this time. It's so exciting, and it's not like, I mean, we're
There's a lot of like Zoom shit going on.
yeah, there is, but like even for us here at WAM, like we're still at the very low end scale of podcasting, but it's nice to see people expanding their entertainment stuff. So, you know.
It's I think I don't know if he started it, but John Krasinski's like some good news.
Oh my God, I know.
I love those videos.
Well, I would consider Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett Smith. That's
Oh, you've told me about this before.
yeah, I mean, it's like it's their version of a talk show. It's in her house. They put it up on Facebook, but that could easily turn into a podcast if they wanted to.
Yeah,
So it's nice. The Zoom meetings are a little sketchy sometimes because it's not the greatest, clarity.
as y'all can see.
Yeah, like every time Amanda's talking about something and I'm trying to interrupt and it's just not going well. So
Just don't interrupt.
I know I'm an asshole.
I'm just kidding. It's hard.
It is. I get so excited sometimes.
Yeah.
So fun
But anyway,
stuff.
good stuff.
Yes.
You want me to share my first movie?
Yes, please.
Um, the fun one or the sad one?
Um, why do you have to have a sad one?
I I did okay, I'll talk about the sad one, okay? Because then
Okay,
we can get
let's
better.
get that out of the way. That's
So
bad?
no, no, okay.
Oh,
Well, yeah. Yes, in the disturbing sense, but it wasn't a bad film.
okay.
Thank you, Shudder, for this wonderful movie. On Shudder, there's this, oh gosh, they were speaking Danish.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the right word for it.
Yeah.
It sounds like a mixture of French and something else. Um, Dutch, that's what it was.
Oh, I'm like, you said Danish, and I'm like, oh, strawberry Danish
They're
would.
speaking, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot, you can tell. Don't get me hungry. Um, so obviously it was in that language with subtitles, but it was called The Treatment. Now, the little sentence long synopsis on Shudder or on Netflix that they give you said something about, this guy grows up, his brother disappeared when he was a kid, he becomes a cop, and now new kid disappearances are in the same vein. It was a basic sentence like that. So, me and the scribe tuned in, and it was very well done, but it was very, very dark in the sense that his brother was taken by a pedophile, and through his investigations as an adult, comes to find out there's this pedophile ring,
Oh,
and
mm,
there's um videotapes and photos, and I think what was most disturbing was that they actually showed a little bit, obviously these are fake, but they
right.
showed like glimpses of the videos, and it was like when you think of pedophiles you don't see anything, but your brain is like,
Yeah,
and
it
it
doesn't.
was all little boys, and they just showed a lot more than I would have liked um in that sense, and I almost don't want to say it because it's like
Just,
very,
yeah,
I won't
I
just,
think we get the
yeah,
gist.
but it just shows how this detective is like his aggression gets kind of like in Defending Jacob with Chris Evans, how he
Yeah,
gets increasingly more agitated and stressed and angry, and he starts doing like impulsive things.
yeah,
That's what this detective is doing because he wants to find these children before anything happens again, and at the same time it helps him, like, I found my brother by saving this kid, almost, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like he's what's the word, retribution or something
yeah.
like
I
that.
get it.
But they were chasing this guy who would break into people's houses, and like this is the modern day case he was following. He would tie up the mom in like a closet or whatever, like away, and then would handcuff the dad and the boy to like a table or whatever. He would make the dad perform sodomy on his son, and then it was a whole thing. Like it was
A
fucked.
little ritual that he had.
Yes, and there was like spray painted, or no, I think it was blood. It was a mixture of like urine and blood, and like with all these written things on the walls and like the female sign.
Do they explain? Is there at any point the point of vision, like point of view of this person, the pedophile?
You do, yeah, not, yes, you do see him. You don't know at the time he's a pedophile, but you're like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? You know what I mean?
But I
And
mean,
then,
like, do they go back into like just to? I know that there's like no explanation. People are just sick and twisted. But
no, it's about impotence. So he's impotent, but he blames, there was science involved, so excuse my stupid talk. Um, but it was something like how there's like some type of female hormone from the mother that like causes impotence in the man. if that makes sense, like through birth.
Are they really blaming the mother?
This guy is. So that's why he would separate the mother, and like he hated females. Um he thought that the females, like every woman ever, is his reason for who he is. You know what I mean?
He must have had the world's shittiest mom.
And he had a thing about urine, and it was just so disgusting. And like he had a storage room with jars filled with his urine, and like big vat with the kids' clothes in it of just urine. Like it was so disturbing.
I would have loved to see a background story on him.
Yeah,
And
no, there wasn't much. There wasn't like anything.
and I know that like sometimes it's like I said, people are just fucking sick and twisted. But I think the reason why we're so fascinated with shit like this, and I hate using that word, I know that you also don't like using it, but I think it's because we're so determined to understand. Like I just need it to click in my head. And it's the ugly truth is that it's never gonna click in your head. It's never gonna make any sense.
That's why we like Mindhunter, is because they go into their childhood to know why they turned out this way, which I would have loved to have seen that with this guy.
But there are things like there are serial killers out there who the only reason they're doing anything is because of a reason that makes sense to them. But at
Exactly.
least even that, we can just be like, oh, okay, in his mind, he thinks this is right.
Yep.
It makes me wonder what the directors and the writers, what their true intention was with this, was something so dark and so, like, you don't see that shit out here. Like, movies.
Well, what I wanted to mention was that this movie is based on a book by Mo something, I forget, but this author is like a bestseller. He did that movie The Snowman with uh Magneto. What the fuck is his name?
I know who you're talking about.
New Magneto, the new.
Oh, John Hamm? Is that him? Is that John?
No.
That's not John Hamm.
He's fucking, I think he's German or English or something. No, he's German. Oh my god, he's in like every movie ever.
Helping you. Hold on. Michael Fassbender.
Yes,
Michael.
that guy. Um, so I recognize the author's name, and he's always known for like doing these salacious true crime things.
But is it just because that's just the kind of books that he writes?
I I mean, it was based on his book, so I don't know. I
That bothers me.
It's sad because we were interested to know the end, like how it was going to come about.
Because you're invested at this point.
Yeah. And
Oh no.
exactly. And it was pretty disturbing. Yeah.
The
But
closest, yeah.
huh?
No, go ahead, finish.
I was just going to say it was well done, cinematography wise, story wise. It made sense.
Yeah.
I liked the cast is unknown because it's foreign to us.
Dutch, yeah.
Yeah. It was well done, but disturbing for its content.
The closest I've ever come to a movie like that was Cry Baby. Is it Cry Baby Cry?
Gone Baby Gone.
What the fuck?
Well, you were thinking of Crybaby, I'm sure.
Yeah. So yeah.
With Casey Affleck.
Mhm. And all they did was show a bloody underwear in a sink, and there was like a glimpse of his face when he was dead in the tub, and that was enough to be like,
I remember, yeah.
watch the movie again. I read the book; it's right there. Dennis Lehane, props to you. But
yeah. No, this one, yeah, it's I'm sure the children were well compensated, but they don't show nothing. That's like, but they show enough for you to be like,
they're probably like those weird dolls. Anyways,
what?
like the kids.
What about the kids?
Gross scenes.
I don't know. But it reminded me of because we didn't know it was going to be about this, and it reminded me of Anthony Horowitz is an author that started writing about like Sherlock Holmes recently, or like making more Sherlock stories.
Okay.
And I bought one a few years ago called The House of Silk, and I was like, yay, Sherlock mystery, and it ended up being another fucking pedo ring with little boys, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
And I'm like, why does this happen? Like, there's nothing indicating that that's what it's about. and then it just turns into, and they do it because it is dark and it's disturbing and it happens in the real world, but it's just, I'd rather not read about that or watch it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm trying to decide whether I want to watch it or not. But where I have kids, it's like, and I know that you have kids. You have our kids. So
I was thinking of Daniela's Boy, like,
yeah, I'm sure.
the whole time, and my heart was like breaking. I felt it was gross. I was like,
So
it was,
you would not watch it again?
no,
Did you have one of those movies but that you would never watch again? Because I know we talked about that. I don't think you had one.
that would be one.
Sure.
Yeah, because it's like, why? It's hard to find entertainment value in something like that. You know what I mean?
But I mean, why do you watch documentaries about serial killers?
I know.
Like, what about that is entertaining?
I have no idea.
The mystery of it all? Like, what is it? It just, that's
I don't
heavy.
know. It just fascinates me about the human brain and how it works and how fucked up it gets to make you do things like that.
Just not when there's kids involved.
Exactly. So anyway, I would tell you to watch it on Shutter, but I really don't want to.
So this is more like a warning. Do not watch.
Yeah. But again, it was well done. I
It
could see
sucks.
it. Yeah.
I was just gonna say that.
The acting was really good. The story was good, but ugh.
Topic of it all is just a little sensitive.
Yeah. And I was wondering the whole time, like, why is this called The Treatment? Like, I don't get it.
Oh, why is it? Oh, they never explained it?
They did. In the penultimate meeting between the killer and the detective, he, beating each other up, and he was going on and on about kind of why he does what he does, but in his incoherent thoughts. And it was just about like, you need your treatment, is what he kept saying to the detective. Like, and basically that means like you need to go through this process of like killing, and there's urine involved, and yeah, it's just it was,
That's totally a ritualistic thing.
that's what I was trying to get at. Yes, it was like a ritual type deal. So
Well, that's gross.
yeah,
Thanks.
you're welcome. Why don't you talk about a fun movie?
Oh, okay. So I watched two things. One of them is very old, and I'm gonna pull it up because I suck at shit like this. So I have a problem with Jamie Foxx as an actor.
Tell me why.
And I think it stems from when Law Abiding Citizen came out with Gerard Butler and Jamie Foxx. And I'm such a huge fan of Gerard that
Same.
for Jamie Foxx to one up him and Gerard, spoiler alert, dies. That shit pissed me off that it ruined Jamie Foxx for me forever.
Ah,
Right?
I got you.
Django Unchained, I've been wanting to watch ever since it released, but
You're like, no, not again.
yeah, but I love Leo. So yesterday, I
This is
been
a Quentin Tarantino movie.
yes. So to be quite honest, I didn't give a shit about any part of the movie until Leo came in.
Which was when? Like at the end?
Like that was probably like I don't know how it's oh god, this movie's 2 hours and 45 minutes too. The other one I watched was that long. So I probably like an hour and 45 minutes in, it feels like.
Yeah.
Right? So they try to trick Leo. Have you ever watched it?
I know what it's about though, so.
Okay, so it starts off like Jamie Foxx is a slave because it takes place back in those days. And like you said, it's Quentin Tarantino. So he is bought by this German man, and the German man is posing as a dentist, but he's really a bounty hunter. And he buys Django, and he gives him his freedom at the same time. And like black men, it was against the law for a black man to ride a horse or dress well, and he let him pick out his own clothes. He treated him like an equal,
Yeah.
and he taught him how to read and speak properly and how to shoot with accuracy and the trades of being a bounty hunter and basically how to take care of himself, and gave him his freedom with all this. Like I said, treating him like an equal. And it goes like the very first people that they hunted were the people that beat Django the worst, right? It was three brothers, so they cleaned that out, and then it leads to he wants to save his wife, and his wife is currently
Sorry. Sorry.
he went off screen.
I did.
Like, where did she go?
I was an aggressive sneeze.
You're lucky you didn't
Continue.
throw your out.
There's no cat to blame either.
No, but the allergies are supposed to be bad this year, so
Yeah.
So it leads to him wanting to get his wife, and she's at the biggest plantation in Mississippi, and they call it Candyland, and that's the one that's run by Monsieur who? Monsieur Candy. His
And
name is Calvin Candy. That's Leo's part.
wow. Okay.
So he's the owner of this plantation, and your introduction to Leo is actually, God, I don't have a word for it. Sinister keeps coming to mind, but that's not it. So he's basically like in this little, he's in his den, he's entertaining his lawyer, and there's two black people in there. It's the bartender, who's a black man, and it's almost like his mistress, who's a black woman, very fucking beautiful woman. And Django and Dr. Schultz come in, who they're partners, and he has two black men fighting in front of this fireplace. And at first it's like, oh, it's just two black guys fighting, until he's like, it's to the death, and they're bloody, and they are just, it's absolute savagery, the way that they're beating each other and trying to kill each other and breaking each other's bones. And it was just,
I was going to say, if it's Quentin Tarantino, you can guarantee there's going to be gore involved.
I was like, but it was just a fist fight. It was bare knuckle fist fighting, two people literally just fighting for their lives. And it just translated on screen so well that it was just so jarring to see something so primal, and then you see Leo and the other white dude like, yeah, kill each other, and it's just like, that was literally the very first moment in the entire movie that kind of like grabbed me by the imaginary balls that I had, and I was like, gonna let this go? No, this is happening? Okay then. Like, it was just really weird. So the whole time Dr. Schultz and Django are trying to play Monsieur Candy to buy his wife, but in order to do that, because they didn't think that he was going to go for it because he's like the richest man in Mississippi, they put out an outrageous, at the time it was 12 grand, outrageous offer for a fighter just to get his attention. And the whole point of it was to make the deal to buy the fighter, and then low-key be like, oh, I want that girl right there, how much do you want for her? He would probably sell her for, he said, and in Mr. Candy's words, she's not even worth $300, right? So surprising cast member in this was Samuel L. Jackson.
Always. Why does he always pop up?
So fucking good though. He was like, yes, he was in charge of running Mr. Candy's house.
Yeah.
But him and Mr. Candy were like good pals until he stepped out of line too far, and then Mr. Candy had to like put him back in his place, but then they were cool again. So, but it was just like, all right, fine, Jamie Foxx did all right, but so I gotta give it to him.
Did he get like awards for this?
He did a really, I'm pretty sure he probably did. I honestly don't know. But he did a really good job. But obviously, like, my favorite was watching Leo, and then Samuel L. He's going around and he's dropping N-words and motherfucker, I'll get your black ass off here and I'll kick your ass and all this shit. Oh, he is.
In pure Sam Jackson fashion.
And they darkened him up, and you can see they put prosthetics on his face, and they receded, like he had a little bit of like white curly hair. and he walked around with a cane, but it was like all a fake thing that he was doing, which is a part that he was playing. But it was really good, I have to admit. The every time they shot somebody, it literally looked like if you had put fake slimy blood in a balloon and it just burst. Like that's what the gunshots looked like. You would
Oh
shoot someone
God.
and like
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure Quentin made an appearance towards the
He
end.
usually does.
Okay, then it was him. He's got like a really square jaw, really low brows.
Yes.
Yeah, he made an appearance. He was Australian. Is he Australian?
No.
He was. Unless that was like the worst Southern accent ever, he was Australian.
I was just gonna say, does Leo have a good Southern drawl?
You know what? Leo is. There were parts where I would like rewind it just to hear him talk because
Really?
he is such a fucking chameleon. Like, it was just so. Obviously, we're not Southern, but I can't, because even when he does a Boston accent, I'm just like,
Lord have mercy.
yeah, it was so good. I wish I could play you a clip, but I don't know if we'll get in trouble for that.
We'll definitely get in trouble.
Okay. But it's just like, it's so good. And Jamie's accent was really good too. It just,
You were all about anti-Jamie.
it was
And
good.
now you're like,
No,
he was
look,
good.
he did a good job. He did. But he was definitely outshined by
Everybody else.
and Leo. And I got so mad because I'm watching it and I'm waiting for that epic moment. The one where Leo slams the table and he cuts himself. So I'm
Oh, I
in bed.
forgot about that.
Yeah. So I'm in bed and I'm watching it and I'm like focused.
It's
Like,
coming.
yes, it's 2 seconds. And Javi comes in to give me a kiss, which is so cute. But
I was gonna say.
I literally responded with, "What the fuck? I've been waiting this whole time for this fucking part, and you just interrupted it." Like, he was like, "What?"
Bitch, you can rewind.
No, but it was different, and I hated that I lost my moment because I was anticipating it, and I was focused. I was in it. I was there watching the whole thing, and you're just pulled out of that. It was awful.
No, I'm siding with Javi on this one. That's cute. Your
And
husband just wanted a kiss, damn it.
he laughed very hard. And then I ran to the bathroom to pee, and that's where I ended up watching the fucking scene that I've been waiting for the whole time
On
on
the
the
toilet.
shitter. Well, I was fucking pissing. It was, oh my God. I was so mad.
Okay. Sorry, you're just okay.
I know. But it was good. It was really good. I enjoyed it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I think you should watch it. I think you'll like it.
Let me just carve out 3 hours here.
I it didn't feel like that.
So kind of like It Chapter 2.
Yeah. It moved along very well.
All right.
Moved along.
You watched a lot of Leo this week.
I did. I think I was in a mood.
A Leo mood.
Well, that's not the first movie I watched. I watched the other one, but I don't know if you want to take a turn and talk about the other thing that you watched.
Sure. My
Okay.
turn.
Sorry.
The movie I watched was also very cast heavy. A lot of heavy hitters. Knives Out. Do you remember hearing about it?
Let me see if I can find it.
Came out last year. Kind of like a Clue whodunit.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So it stars
Ooh.
fucking Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Michael Shannon, Jamie Lee Curtis, Toni Collette, Jaden Martell of It and Defending Jacob, Christopher Plummer, legendary actor right there. What's her name? Catherine Langford. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, she's from 13 Reasons Why. She plays
Thank
Hannah.
you. And Lakeith Stanfield, who was in Get Out, I believe.
I know who Ricky Lindholm is. She plays Donna Thrumbey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Forgot that you would know that.
Sorry.
Anyway, so Knives Out is like it basically is Clue.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt? You didn't even mention that.
He's
Did
not
you?
in it.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
He's Detective. Oh, they must have cut his scene out.
He's not. Are you looking at the right movie?
Yeah, Knives Out. Detective Hard Rock.
Oh no, Joseph Gordon-Levitt was on they were playing like a news thing on somebody's computer and it was his voice. So he wasn't in the movie.
That is so stupid.
I know. I was like, girl, he was not in that movie.
But
Although
I do remember watching. Where did you find this, first of all?
it was on my Xfinity on demand. That's a lie. I rented it on Amazon. It's available on both, so it was $1 cheaper on Amazon to rent. Yeah.
The dollar gets away from you.
So basically it's a whodunit, right? It's this really rich family in this huge, beautiful mansion. And this whole, I mean, it's a rich family with, skeletons in their closet and they all hate each other practically.
As they all do.
So their father, played by Christopher Plummer, lives like on the third floor, like way up there. And in his study, the maid finds him with his throat slit. So that's why it starts this whole investigation. And that's why the movie's basically they're being questioned by the cops, and Daniel Craig plays a private eye, a Southern private eye. So he does not have his beautiful English James Bond voice. He's now Kevin Spacey from House of Cards and has that North Carolina drawl. You know what I mean?
I feel like he'd be so good at that, though.
He was so good. No, it was just weird. It was like a disconnect,
Yeah.
just to
And it's
see
so
him with
fitting.
something else,
Mhm.
It was very strange. Anywho, the movie was fantastic. Really great cast. Jamie Lee played like the rich wife, but so she was a bitch, but she was good. Like she was good at it. What?
I feel like that's true in real life.
You're
To
bad.
some degree. To some degree.
The only thing I was disappointed about was so Michael Shannon was in it, and his son is Jade Martell, whose name is Jacob. But the dude had like 2 lines in the whole thing. He was just like on his phone the whole time,
Jaden?
as like yeah, your typical like teenager, whatever.
Yeah, of course.
Chris Evans, I was hesitant in the beginning because I'm like, okay, Chris Evans showed up one time. Where's he at, bro?
Did he?
He did. Yeah, he was let's just say he was one of the main suspects. So
Hmm.
he's in there. I really liked him. His character was very, well, yuppie, rich boy, thinks the world revolves around him. But he was good at it. So then it's all about like his Christopher Plummer, when he had a nurse who was very young, like I would say 20s.
Okay.
And she kind of becomes like the sidekick to Daniel Craig to kind of figure out everything when she knew what happened the whole time. So it was just kind of like a cat and mouse trying to figure out who done it
Yeah.
with this amazing cast in this beautiful house.
Is it even a house if there's like 3 floors?
It was a big house.
Jesus.
So it's all about like the family tensions, who done it, Daniel Craig running around with his accent. uh and
Is it more like comedy or
no, it's definitely a drama,
okay?
but a
Oh,
very well done drama. It was very good. I enjoyed it so much. Because I rented it for 48 hours. I'm like, Dad, you gotta watch this movie. It was good. He
okay.
liked it so much he watched it like 3 times,
Did he really?
and he don't do that.
I take your dad as a really good critic because he's
Yes,
not easily impressed by mine.
exactly. So he was very impressed.
That's dope. I'll watch it today.
It's well worth the $4.99.
Nice.
Although you might buy it knowing you. Because
Yeah.
you'd rather spend $20 once than $4.
I totally forgot that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was available on Amazon Prime and I paid for it.
Why?
Because I totally forgot that it was available on Prime.
All right, tell me about this because it's Leo and it's Brad Pitt,
It's also
which I don't think you've ever seen before together.
um I can't think of it off the top of my head. Margot Robbie,
Ooh.
Bill Hirsch,
Ooh.
um Timothy Oliphant
Oh, yep.
from he's in Justified, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Live Free or Die Hard.
Austin Butler. He looks like a Disney face.
A Disney face.
He does. I'll tell you right now. Oh shit! I don't even have. Oh wait. Yeah, the Carrie Diaries. The Dead Don't Die.
Nope.
Didn't you say you saw Shana Ra? I don't fucking know.
What the fuck were you trying to just say right now?
Arrow. This fucking stupid movie. Oh, but you know what? This was the series. I can't click on it. This fucking thing.
Yeah, no, I don't know what that is.
Oh, well, he's a Disney kid, I think. Something like
Okay.
Dakota Fanning,
Oh.
Bruce Stern, Mike Moore,
Oh, Bruce Stern. Love that bitch.
Luke Perry, R.I.P. Al Pacino.
I'm sold.
Directed by
We haven't seen Dakota Fanning in a while.
no. We have
It was
not.
all about her sister Elle at the moment.
Who's her sister? Oh, Quentin also directed this.
I'm sensing a pattern, Joe.
I didn't know there was a pattern. So
That's why it was also 2 hours and 45 minutes.
yeah, I didn't realize that it was a pattern.
Bitch
So
likes long movies.
let me just give you a really quick bio. So Leo plays Rick Dalton. This movie takes place. Me cago en la puta madre el diablo. This movie takes place in like 1969 Los Angeles.
69?
Yeah. So Rick Dalton plays a faded television actor, and his stunt double is Brad Pitt.
Oh, God.
Who's Cliff Booth. That's his name.
Wow.
And basically, they're striving to achieve fame, not really getting it. And I guess I didn't know that the 1960s, the late 60s was like Hollywood's golden age. It was like the final years of that. So
Yeah.
anyway, so they try to like, he's trying to book movies, and it's like it has this weird dynamic where Rick is very much rich and known and Cliff isn't. He lives like in a trailer with his dog.
Because he's a stunt double.
But he's more than happy to like drive Rick around to his appointments, or there was one time where he dropped him off on set and Rick couldn't get him a job as a stunt double, and he was like, oh, my antenna broke, so go fix that and then you can go about your day, and he happily went and did that.
Okay.
So
He was Leo's bitch, in other words.
yeah, pretty much. So there's a lot of actors portraying other actors in this movie, which I thought was great. So Margot Robbie plays Sharon Tate.
Oh.
Emil Hirsch plays Jay Sebring. And then you have, where is he? Mike Moe plays Bruce Lee.
Oh.
So, but it's really cool because Sharon, I think it was at the beginning, Sharon Tate's fame didn't last very long, right? Like she was rising, but then
it was only her murder that made her famous, really.
Yeah, okay. So she had put out a movie and she went to the movie theater and she's like, oh, my name's Sharon Tate. I'm in this movie. And they were like, who are you in this movie? Blah, blah, blah. So she's in the movie theater watching her movie. But what was so nice is that they were playing the original movie.
Ooh.
Not like a remake with Margot in it.
Yeah.
It was like Sharon Tate or whatever. So this movie took a very weird turn when they introduced Sharon Tate. Because those who follow true crime and things like that know that Sharon Tate was a victim of the whole Manson family organization that was happening. And that kid that I was telling you about, Austin Butler, plays Tex Watson.
Oh.
So
Why do all the Disney people like turn serial killer to go like
I don't.
adult?
So it was very interesting because Rick Dalton eventually ends up moving in next door to Sharon's new house where she
Oh
was born.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were next door neighbors. So the whole movie, you're following Rick and like what he's going through and trying to get parts, and he goes to Italy and becomes an Italian film star and then comes back to the US. But then you're also following Cliff along, and
Yeah.
Cliff ends up at the ranch where the Manson family was staying. He ends up
Yeah.
there and he meets Tex and all the women that are there. And then it eventually leads to the night of Sharon Tate's murder. So I was like, the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, it's about Rick Dalton. No. It's about Cliff. No. Is this about Charlie Manson? Like, that was my whole, like, I was trying to figure out how all of these storylines tied together. The very end of it, I'm not going to spoil it because I really think you should watch it.
Okay.
So it ends on the night of Sharon Tate's murder, but it ends and then it says once upon a time in Hollywood, and it makes you real like you're left in this what the fuck, like that's not how that went moment. But then you also like the title ends up making sense because it's once upon a time. It's supposed to be a story, like a fantasy story.
Okay. I was gonna say because this doesn't sound true to the real life.
It was.
Well,
It was to the date. The events that happened were not at all how it actually went down.
gotcha. I was gonna say, were these two, was Brad Pitt and Leo like real people?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't Rick
Or is
Dalton.
this just Quentin's like, yeah, we're gonna do this and it's gonna be
Yeah, I don't know
awesome?
if let me Google it or at least let me see if Rick. I think they're fictional characters.
I also love
Oh
that.
no.
What?
Rick Dalton, actor, known for To Live and Die in LA in 1985. What were you saying? You love what?
Fuck.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I love how they have like two of Hollywood's biggest playing kind of nobodies in Hollywood.
Yeah. And um so Cliff is like really laid back. At
Brad
the
Pitt.
very end of the movie, yeah, he ends up smoking a cigarette that was laced with acid. And he's like trying to talk to his dog, and mid sentence he just goes, he's just doing this the whole time. He kicked Bruce Lee's ass.
False.
Yes. And I think it's little quips like that that make this movie so great. The fact that Leo is such a huge movie star, but in this movie, he's like, no one really cares for him. And then
I like that.
Brad Pitt is literally like kicking Bruce Lee's ass. You fucking wish. I guess Rick Dalton was, or
I
no.
mean, he was a stunt man.
Yeah. Oh, and then the other thing is like Rick Dalton is always he always played the bad guy, and it was always in like cowboy movies.
Oh God. The
Yeah.
westerns, yeah.
Yeah, it was all westerns. That's all he did. So it was really funny. It was a
That
really good.
sounds like a treat.
He had this very southern drawl, and I think it's because he was from, I don't think Missouri makes any sense.
Nope, that's not even in the South.
I don't know, it's not. Oh, he said it because I remember he was like, they came back from Italy and he's like talking to Cliff, basically telling him that he needs to let him go. He's like, I can't afford to keep you around anymore because I don't know what's going to happen. And if I don't make any more movies, I have to sell my house and move into a condo. Or he has to go back to his hometown, but I can't remember where it was that he said he was from. But
No. Was he on point with the accent again? What is it? I don't know what it is with me and accents, but like it has to, I gotta feel that shit, you know?
I don't understand how he does it.
It's like Johnny Depp. You're like, is he British? Is he?
Oh, when you thought he was, but he's
Yeah.
really not. And I kept telling you that, and I was like, no, he's not British. But
One rare instance of an American who can do an accent, okay?
he's so good at it. And Leo is just, because the other thing too was I started Man in the Iron Mask, and he just has his regular English accent, but everyone else, like they're supposed to be in France, and this was back when
His regular English accent.
like his regular like English like ours.
Okay, so not British, just regular
No,
voice.
regular like.
Don't get me fired up, okay?
No, but everyone else had an English accent.
Yeah.
Or French or native to wherever the hell they were.
Yep, that's like in The Gentleman, where it was like everybody was a Brit except for McConaughey, because you
But
do not want McConaughey doing a British accent.
that makes sense because they were in England,
Yeah.
right? So where Man in the Iron Mask took place in France, you had the one dude who was actually French,
Yep.
and then a bunch of Americans and a British man. And it's
Yep.
just like, y'all couldn't even fucking try. It was back in the days where we really didn't give a shit.
Nope.
We're just gonna pick this part of the country and we're gonna speak regular English.
Yep. Hey, why not?
You know? So
We're gonna make a movie in France, but nobody speaks French.
exactly. So you did watch The Gentleman.
Yes.
How
I
much
talked to you about it, remember?
you mentioned it. I didn't want to go into it. How much did you love it?
I loved it.
It's so good.
I'm telling you though, you have to put those subtitles on, especially for Colin Farrell, because I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about?
I just kept going back a little bit and just trying to like tune
And
in.
usually I'm good with English accents, but I don't know if not. I think it's because of all the slang that they use.
There was a lot of stuff. I loved how in some parts they put subtitles for you.
Yeah,
That's
and
like,
I think that's a Guy Ritchie thing. I just love him so much. Charlie didn't take his shirt off,
which I
but
appreciated.
yes, because abs don't normally. You don't need abs.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You need the well-dressed, like three-piece suit with a vest and the glasses.
Flies, but can
Slick
kill
back
you.
blonde hair.
Yeah, I know.
It was
Did you,
nice.
did you like how it was like a story being told? That's my favorite part.
I liked Hugh Grant because he's like, I don't think I've ever seen him play like an asshole like that.
No.
Um,
He's usually like a womanizer, isn't he?
yeah, and his real accent is more like suave, like the suave Brit.
Yes.
But this one is like the down and dirty. What
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what area that is.
Let's call it hood. It's more
Yeah,
hood.
it's the hood. Oh my god.
The scribe's gonna kill us.
Pretty much. I'll just tell him not to watch this episode.
Skip this part. Don't
Yeah.
don't bother. Um,
Yeah.
I read this article that was written by a woman, and look, I'm all for feminism, okay?
Yeah.
But she focused. She's like talking about how like Guy Ritchie is only good for making guy movies, which okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
It is a man's movie, but I feel like women can enjoy it too. But she's like, but of course, the only female that they casted basically ends up almost getting raped by a minority man. And I was like, you chose to focus on that? And then they were like, oh, and then they made it all about how it made Mikey feel and not about how it made her feel. And I'm just like, the whole time I was reading it, like, I get where you're coming from, but you totally missed the fucking point of this movie. The point was that it was about Mike and his empire.
Yep.
And his wife looks like she could pretty much take anything that comes her way.
Yep.
And I wish she would have homed in on that a little more, like how strong she was and like how she just knew how to handle herself. You know, it's just like obviously any woman can be overpowered by a man. It's just a matter of fact.
Yep.
But the fact that her whole article shit on this movie because of that one scene pissed me the fuck off.
Yeah. And Guy Ritchie does make a lot of like guy movies, but that's like his
That's what he's good at.
That's his like expertise, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They made King Arthur and his mom was like a big deal, you know?
Well, they were saying that King Arthur was like a shit movie. Like it just did not do well at all. And they were saying there was like an article saying that Guy Ritchie either makes bangers or complete fucked up shit movies.
From what I can tell, all of his movies have been bangers. In my eye.
I've enjoyed whatever I've watched.
Me too. Like
So
all of them.
I
Sherlock
got
Holmes.
yo,
Hello.
I went on about that article for like 2 days because I was so mad. I
That's
was
kind of
like,
it. Yeah.
it was just like you really just fucking
You missed the point.
she took this amazing fucking story and just brought it down to one of the worst parts in this movie and just completely fucking twisted it.
Into something that it fucking
I
was.
I always feel like if something is done to me, I can handle it, I'll get over it. But if you hurt one of my loved ones, I'm never gonna get over that shit. And I'm not saying that she in that moment wasn't hurt or, you know, whatever. She looked like she was fine as soon as she saw him. And I think it's because she's so loyal to him, he's so loyal to her, and their trust is like their relationship is goals.
Pretty much.
Say it. Like
Hashtag gold.
she knew in that moment that I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be taken care of. I'm not gonna need to lift a finger to fix this. And he handled it.
Did this reporter not see that she killed people, like, to
Right.
defend herself?
And not only that, but when he went and confronted whatever his name was that he was trying to sell his shit to, he's like, I'm not sentimental about the money, but you put your hands on my wife. And when he screamed my wife, I don't think it had anything to do with like you disrespected me. It's like you disrespected the one person that I care about the most in this world. That's what I took from it.
Yeah, and because of that, you're about to get fucked up.
Right. So for her to be like, oh, this was awful for her, and they made it all about him. From that
Duh.
from that point on, I feel like any move that Mickey made was because of what happened to her, not because it humiliated him in any way, shape, or form. You disrespected his wife.
Now you gotta pay.
Yeah. So I literally was like fucking bullshit over this article. It was so bad.
I hate that because it was one fucking little moment.
Yeah. And that
And
was the moment that he decided, you know what? Fuck all of you.
I know.
It was
I
so
do love Guy Ritchie movies, though.
good too. I think they're excellent.
They are.
I think we watched some really good movies this week. I don't know what we're gonna do for next week.
It's just like that Asking album. Like, how are we gonna one up this?
I don't know.
It's I don't know, and it's not even that I like, force myself to watch anything different or whatever.
Sure.
It's just like, what else is out there? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and there are moments where I get picky, let's say, and just binge fucking Sopranos because
Yeah.
I'm not feeling anything else.
I feel like I wouldn't say I get picky. I get lazy.
Yeah.
Like I just want to watch something that I don't have to pay attention to, that I literally
Yes.
just turn off my brain, which is why I end up turning to Supernatural or Sons or Vampire Diaries or whatever other fucking True Blood series that I've watched a jillion times.
Yep.
It's just like I
think
know
that's
this by heart. I'll sleep for 25 minutes and wake up and I know exactly where we're at.
Yeah, because that's how your brain fucking works.
Sorry.
God, I still can't get over.
How quickly I fall asleep?
Yeah. How
I almost wish you would have recorded that shit.
I wish I did too, but I didn't know you do that. First time like sleeping in the same room as you.
Would you consider that a talent?
Yeah.
For sure.
Within 2 seconds, you were snoring. And I was like, did she hit REM that fast? Like, that's impressive.
I don't work up to it. It's literally like, yep.
Literally, the flick of a switch, she's gone. Like an upload. Like someone just shut you off. Power down.
on your computer takes longer than me falling asleep.
God.
You switching apps on your phone. I fall
That's
asleep
it.
quicker than that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I'm like, what is up with that brain? I can't get over it.
I hope I never lose it. Because I love me some sleep.
I was gonna say, you enjoy that sleep.
I feel like I could enter a contest, like a sleeping contest, and I would totally fucking win.
Who can fall asleep the fastest?
The fastest and for how long?
Granted, I think that working third shift helps.
And the kids. I
Yeah.
think the longest I slept was like 21 and a half hours.
Were you sick?
No. And I think it was recent.
That was a day. You slept for a day.
Yeah. It was like between 19 and 21 hours or some shit like that. Javi kept trying to wake me up, and I would be like, yeah, okay, I'm going to get up. He's like, you have to eat. I'm like, okay, I'll get up. And then I would just I never got out of bed.
How long did you pee for when you woke up?
Normal pee.
God, that's a whole day.
I know.
That's
but
crazy.
I think it was the day that I worked a double.
Oh, well,
like a 16
there you
hour
go.
shift or something like that.
Yeah, that's that I think that's worth the 21 hours of sleep.
I was like, yeah, that's why I don't even call it sleeping. I call it slipping into a coma. It's like I die on that bed and then I resurrect.
That's why you need like the comfiest bed ever.
Yes, I can't wait. Really gonna be like Sleeping Beauty in that bed.
Just not as like,
don't you fucking kiss me, you're gonna disrupt me.
But you don't look anywhere as graceful as Sleeping Beauty did, so.
Absolutely not. I look like Anna from
I was just gonna say it when she wakes up with the drool on the
matted hair.
That was the most realistic Disney moment I think I've ever seen.
I appreciated that so much. I'd be like, oh my God, yes. And
you know she slept well.
How she stuffs her mouth with all that food. I'm like, Jesus Christ, they are just nailing it.
Yep.
So good.
Thanks, Disney, for being awesome, I guess.
For real. Hey, did the live action Mulan, is that out?
I don't think so. I haven't seen anything about it. I'm ready for that, though.
I know, we were just watching the animated one.
And I'm also curious how they're going to do Mushu.
Ooh.
Or if they're, oh my God, can you imagine if they did an animated Mushu or like a CGI Mushu and they brought Eddie Murphy back?
That's not cool. I've never seen Maleficent. Maybe
Like the one with Angelina Jolie?
Yeah, I've never seen those movies.
I saw the first one. It was
Yeah. See,
I can't get into that though. I don't know why. I think it's because it's Angelina Jolie.
Probably. I don't
I'm
see
not
it here, so it's probably not.
I don't know why I can't get into her movies.
Really?
I don't know why.
I'm trying to think. Hold on.
Like Lara Croft.
Those were, well, the first one was good. You know what? No, I see your point. She's a very mediocre actress.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Cast it because of her face and her tits.
She doesn't
Mr.
even
and
have
Mrs.
good
Smith?
tits.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Oh yeah, I forgot they were married.
That one was pretty good.
Eh.
I think
Again,
I enjoyed it because of the banter.
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really like her. I liked the new Lara Croft over that.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Ooh, you should.
Lara Croft? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
It might just be called Tomb Raider. The Tomb Raider.
that sounds more accurate.
Or maybe Lara Croft Tomb. I don't know. Whatever. It was. My dad liked it. If that gives you any indication.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will.
She's more gritty and actiony and.
Not so sexualized.
Exactly. She's a much stronger female lead in this one.
Okay.
So.
I'll watch.
I'm hoping I don't have to watch anything disturbing this week.
Yeah, could you? And if you start to, just stop.
Hey, like I said, we had no idea what we were getting into, okay?
Was it one of those things where it just got worse as you went on?
Yes. But we were already committed like halfway through, and it was like, fuck, we have to know how it ends.
Look away! Oh my God! Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Damn it. Is there anything else? We're going to figure this out for you guys at home. I'm sure that you guys are, you know what? Everybody and their mother is up on Netflix's shit. I'm pretty sure everyone's already ahead of
Wherever we are. Yeah.
yeah. So, but we do love to hear from you guys. So if you want to like, just chime in and be like, that movie was shit, or be like, oh, you're nuts. That was awesome.
Or this movie was awesome. Watch this.
Yeah, that'd be great too.
Because we need there's I feel like my to watch list is just ever growing, and it's I don't know, I need just tell me what to watch and I'll watch it.
I know, right? But you know what too? It's like everybody's kind of watching the same stuff.
Like when
So
Tiger King came out, it was like all everybody ever
like,
fucking
I
talked
don't know
about.
what to watch. Tell me, and everyone's like, Tiger King, Tiger King, Tiger King. I'm like, well, can you believe they're still adding new episodes to that?
Wait, they are?
Yeah, I know there was after it aired, there was one more episode, and then Riverdale, the new season of you don't watch Riverdale.
No, I don't.
Dead to Me, the new season of Dead to Me is up there.
Didn't watch that either. I kind of want to start watching Schitt's Creek. I keep hearing good things about it.
I feel like I heard about that. I'm not 100%.
Catherine O'Hara's in it. You don't like Catherine O'Hara?
I'm not really. It doesn't do it for me.
Says a Tim Burton fan.
I know. There is an 8th episode. I think that's one of the newest ones, but I think they said they were gonna add more.
I told you that they're making like a fucking fictionalized version of that with Nicolas Cage. At least rumors.
Well,
Yeah.
this Cage, so I don't really.
Why? It's already a show.
I don't fucks with that either. I know, it's so stupid. I did watch the latest season that they put up of Grey's, because I don't watch it on TV. Don't you watch?
Daniela does. I don't.
Oh, Danny does, not you.
Well, when we used to have our like Thursday night hangouts back, when the world was good. Well, not good, but more social.
I can't stand that show.
Great.
Funny story, and then we're wrapping up. I was watching it this latest season. I think it's like season 15 or some other, and it was like the penultimate episode. And I was at work and processing, so my texts are there, my other coworkers are there, and I'm focused on this fucking episode, and all of a sudden they figure out, after all this testing and weeks of just poking and prodding, that the patient is possibly suffering from cobalt poisoning from an old hip replacement. So like a metal poisoning.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to tell you right now. The tube that you want to draw for the blood work for metals is a dark blue tube. When this bitch turned around and handed the doctor a light blue tube, I damn near lost my mind. I pulled out my earbuds. I was like, no! Because I do. It was bad.
Well, there's a guy on YouTube that goes through all that, right?
Dr. Mike?
I think so, yeah.
That
puts all that shit to bed.
Yeah, so he reviews. He's like, these things never happen in the hospitals, and he'll tell you like what's correct and what's bullshit, like it doesn't matter or whatnot. But I'm at the very low end of the healthcare totem pole, and I know when shit's like not right, like that's fucking fake. And they're like, oh, I can't find the source of the bleeding, and they literally have like this hole, and they're just digging and pushing and lapsing more laps, and I'm just like, you're just stuffing this thing and swooshing around colored water. Like
it's hard when you're in the field to be like, that's bullshit.
It's very frustrating.
It's hard to like detach from reality and enjoy the story.
There's this one episode where they gave this dude, he had 2 legs, and for whatever reason they amputated one of his legs, and they took the other leg and put it at the center of his body.
Oh, right, to grow it. I saw that one.
So no.
All right, keep it.
He was a one-legged man, but his leg was in the middle. It was like and they're like, he'll be able to walk again. And the whole fucking time I'm just like, how? I don't understand. Like, why would you do that? Why not just amputate the leg and give him a prosthetic? It was just so, and I actually wrote to Dr. Mike and I was like, I need you to watch this season, this episode, and tell me if this is even physically, humanly possible. Never
I wonder if
answered.
he did.
He never answered.
I know, but he still could have made it.
Yeah. He said there was, I think it's Code Black is a medical TV show, and he said that was probably from the one episode that he watched, that was probably the most accurately, a medically accurate, correct show that he's seen. But everything else is bullshit.
Yeah, if you're gonna make a medical show, you have to be like,
Get on point.
you need
like,
medical experts on your writing team or
like
whatever.
House, it's all shit. All of it. It's bullshit.
Well, yeah, they just have Hugh Laurie with an American accent, like pretending to be smart.
Although
He has a drug problem.
that's the only part that's
Yeah.
accurate. That's the only part that's, I think I've said too much.
Nope, you're good. Anyway, that's our lives. Hope you guys enjoy.
Please don't hate us. Oh my god.
We're only just wicked awkward assholes that are just trying to make it through life.
Oh my god. We're trying. Very
We are
hard.
trying.
Are we trying? I think we're trying.
We're struggling, but we're still keeping our head above water. Barely.
I miss you so much. It's not even funny.
No idea.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get back to normal
Soon.
in the next few months. All right, everybody. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Watch some
Wash your butt too while you're at it.
Wash your butt.
Wash your butt.
Wash your butt.
New jingle right there, ladies and gents.
Hey!